And welcome into the Ken Nickel Recreation Center for some Senior B lacrosse. It's going to be the Beaumont Outlaws hosting the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. The Outlaws come in at 1-5-1, while the Rebels come in at 1-5-1 as well. Both teams fighting for the fourth and final playoff position in a 5-team league. As the ball's going to be picked up off the draw, out in front, and Dallin Rye tried to tuck that short side, and just able to shut that off was Trey Stewart. Might have caught a piece of the post as well. Back out near center. It was initially picked up by the Outlaws. Now it goes loose, and they're going to battle for it, and whistle goes, and it looks like there's going to be a call, and it looks to be a hold coming up to the Rebels and Takahara. So the Outlaws will get the first power play of the game. It'll be Dallin Rye up top. When Greniak will be on the left shooter. Joe Royer on the right shooter. Looks like Tokar and Harris on the crease. Ball's going to be moved up. When Greniak, wearing the rush gloves and a rush bucket, is going to come up across the top and shoot off the seal. That caught a piece of something. It must have been a Rebel, and it'll stay with the Outlaws. Harris back up to the shooter, and when Greniak, he swings it over to Royer. Royer fakes, takes, and that's a stop by Stewart. Trey Stewart, of course, playing his last year of Junior A with the Calgary Mountaineers and played in the 2023 Minto Cup. Had a pretty strong showing for them. The Edmonton product made his way down to Calgary and finished his Junior A career down there. As Takahara is going to go to work here Peterson is going to go to work on the far side. He's going to lose it. And it's going to be picked up by David Lehman for the Outlaws. Nice little behind the back to Dallin Ryan. The Outlaws power play will reset. When Greniak, Harris, the former Junior A minor, back up to Dallin Rye, also a former Junior A minor. When Greniak shoots that right into the crest of Stewart. Now when Greniak's going to press, and that creates a turnover. Royer picks the loose ball up, back out to Dallin Rye. Rye, flip pass behind the back, didn't connect with Royer, and here come the Rebels as they transition out. Noyan over the restraining line. He gets it back up to Wong. Wong playing his junior career, the Junior B, with the Junior B Rebels. Ball swings. It's going to sit on the right side, and out of nowhere, Eric George, and this is a common theme, another former Junior A minor, scores the opening goal of the game, and the Rebels will go up 1-0. That will be a shorthanded marker with 2 seconds remaining on the Takahara penalty. Off the draw, it's won back by the Outlaws, and Britton will pick it up. The assistant captain for the Outlaws gets it over to Royer as the teams return to 5-on-5. Royer off the half wall. Royer up across the top, and he fires and scores. Just like that, it's 1-1. Royer with a nice little hop step and a step down. Goes low on Stewart to make this evens at 1. Draws one back, and Takahara grabs that loose ball. Ball over with George. George over to Wheat. McCallion back to Wheaton. Wheaton inside, and George with an inside look this time gets denied by Cavalinas. as the Rebels come back down floor. That pass is in behind its target. It's going to go to the near boards. And now it's picked back up by McCallion. The junior B Rebel grad got thrown into the boards. It's going to be over and back, and it's going to be outlaw ball. I want to thank you for joining us here on the channel, CROW LAX TV. All you have to do is hit subscribe, and you'll be notified every time a game goes live. Ball up with Owen Greniak. Swung over to Harris. Harris. Little drag move underneath. Comes back up over the top. Now he flips it inside to Wingreniak, and Wingreniak picks up the loose ball after he wasn't able to initially bring it in and goes far side around Stewart. It's 2-1 on a nice little slick finish from Wingreniak. City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown parks and River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. As the ball is going to be picked up and repossessed by the Outlaws. They'll have an opportunity to go back-to-back here on the ensuing possession. Ball swings over. Little swim move out in front, and they're going to wave that off. They're going to call crease on Birdney. As here come the Rebels. That pass is way high by Dolk. The Outlaws will come back down floor. Royer now to Rye. Tried to hit Royer back through the middle on a little slip pick. The ball's going to go loose, and it's going to be picked up by Darren Beret. Beret is going to lose that, and now it's picked back up by the Outlaws. Here's Royer. Back to Rye. Same five guys that have been playing a lot of offense here out on the floor. Basically the Outlaws' power play. But this time they're going to get stopped, but they're able to go and recollect this ball. Ball down in the far corner with Rye as the Outlaws reset. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 14:34 to go. 2-1, they lead. Royer skips it to Tokar. Tokar back to Royer. Royer off the wrong side of the floor. A little bit of a jump shot. That caught something in front of the net. Didn't make its way there, and now it's going to be picked off. The long shot attempt by Tokar. Here come the Rebels down into the offensive zone. Peterson is going to swing it over to the near wall. McCallion back over to Wong. Wong, stutter step into the corner, flips off to Peterson, back up high to George. George down to Wong. Wong shoots. That stop. Ball goes into the corner. Britton shields his man. And good work there by the Outlaw veteran to allow that ball to be picked up by Lehman. Britton playing his junior lacrosse and minor lacrosse for the Warriors. And a key piece to this Outlaw squad. Back up top. Swings to Wingreniak. Another former minor Warrior. As the ball is going to be shot on net and picked back up by Tokar. Swings it to Harris. Harris inside. And that just couldn't make its way in on the short side. Good job by Stewart to shut that off. And here come the Rebels back down the floor. Fowler. Fowler is going to dangerously flip that back. And now Rye is going to take that in. And he's going to deposit it by Stewart. Off the turnover, it's 3-1. So Royer, Wingreniak, and Rye quickly answer with a trio of goals. After George opened the scoring for the Rebels, it's 3-1. Ball's going to pop up, and Murphy for the Rebels comes away with it. Now Murphy got pinned, but the ball goes loose, goes right to the Rebels, and Wheaton gets it back to Murphy. Murphy staying out for some offense here, gets it to the captain, Greg Beret. Beret in, and that just got stopped as he tried to reach around Cavalinas. Now a good pickup. And the ball is going to go into the stick of Wingreniak. Tried to send that over to Royer, and he whips that into the short side bottom corner to make it 4-1. That's one thing Joe Royer can do, is shoot on the run. He's done it a couple of times here already tonight. And he's done his damage with 2 goals here in the opening 8 minutes. As the Rebels win this one. And now sail the ball well over the head of George, but Peterson will go collect that. Peterson to McCallion. The Rebels in need of one here. McCallion, and he just missed the short side, as it looked like Cavalinas got a piece of that. $11:30 to go here in the opening frame. The home squad Outlaws leading at 4-1. Tokar up across the top, swings to Harris. Harris back over to Joe Royer. Joe swings it. Birdney. Wingreniak with a little bit of a leaner to the short side. The shot clock goes off, though. Didn't hit the net. It'll be Rebel ball. Takahara fakes the flip. Still with Takahara. Good communication there by the Outlaws to call the ball out as it happened right in front of their bench. Now Bray out in front of the net, out of the corner. Something Greg does very well is sort of jump and explode off of loose balls, and he's able to pick that up and get an opportunity. And we're talking about former Junior A players. He was a damn good one himself, playing for the now defunct Edmonton Eclipse. Now as the ball goes over the right side, back to the lefties. Harris swings it. Oh, and Royer just couldn't bring that in, as that skipped right down to the crease. Nice look by Harris. And now the Rebels come back. Noyen is going to get doubled here and stripped, but he might have a chance to recollect. Surrounded by a couple of Outlaws. He gets help from Wong. And heavy hit there. But Rye able to get the ball over. Outlaws are going to have to try and avoid the 8-second count, and they just do on a nice pass from Britton up to Rye. Tokar with a nice grab there on a rough pass. Now back to Rye. Rye with one already. Shoots that. That's stopped by Stewart. And he's going to pick that back up. Harris. Wingreniak. Now Tokar picks that up. Tokar winds into the midsection of Stewart. And here come the Rebels. 9:20 to go, first period. Outlaws 4, Rebels 1. Beret pressed up high. Gets it over to Peterson. Peterson. Back up to Bray. Bray mishandles that. Bray runs it back over to the right side. Tried to shoot that low. Glove save by Cavalinas. Now a strip. But it's picked back up by Needham. Defender rumbles into Rebels territory. But he's going to be doubled there by Takahara, and Nolski gets away. But now throws it away. And the Rebels come back over center. The Outlaws gain that loose ball. The Outlaws creating quite a few turnovers here so far in this game. It's made a pretty big difference, and they've had the lion's share of possession. Ball to Wingreniak. Harris inside and behind the back take there by Royer got stopped. And now Harris with another loose ball for the Outlaws, and they'll get a reset. Harris. Nifty pass. BTB to Wingreniak, and he scores to the same spot he scored earlier. And it's 5-1. This might be the best the Outlaws have looked in, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. Their offense is humming right now. A team that's been through it over the last handful of years. It looks like they're really starting to put together with some of the guys they're throwing out on offense, and the Rebels are going to have to answer here as the ball gets tossed out in front, and George has his second. He sort of rolled away from traffic and looked like he went 5-hole on an unsuspecting Cavalinas. That's the answer the Rebels needed in a very high-scoring opening frame. Be sure to get your 50-50 tickets. Draws will take place on Canada Day with a maximum take-home of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now or visit our social media channels for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. Rebels back out onto the floor. Wheaton down low to Peterson. Another former Junior B Rebel. There's a handful of them on this team. As George. And he completes the hat trick in the first 12 and a half minutes of this game. The Rebels have 3. George has 3. They're now only down by 2. It's 5-3. A natural-born finisher, Eric George. Anytime he gets around the net, it's not great for the opposition. He's one of those guys that can also, you might not notice for long periods of time, but he's a silent killer because he kind of lies in the weeds and can make you pay at any given time. As Murphy swings it back over to Bure. Bure doesn't have that little flip pass in the middle, so he sort of holds on to it and tried to jam one in on the short side. Unable to do so. The Outlaws come back over. Britton wearing a pair of nice blue kicks here as he goes into the corner out front, and Joe Royer unable to bring that in. Doesn't get the interference call, and it'll be Rebel ball. Fowler is going to race in here. Wheaton off the bench. Wheaton down the middle, and Wheaton almost got his own rebound there. And I don't know if he's sore or what, but he's really hobbling off here. Hope he's all right. As the Outlaws come back down into the Fort Saskatchewan zone. Wingreniak up across the top. Now here are the Rebels on the loose ball. That's Noyen. Noyen right to the net. Now he gets turned away at the last second. And he's going to stop up. 5:45 to go first period. The Rebels have now narrowed this Outlaw lead down to 2. It's 5-3 for the home squad. McCallion down the side. That gets stopped. And here come the Outlaws. Britton steps around to press and gets that ball over to Regier, who hands off to Royer. Joe Royer, of course, having that prolific Junior B career with the Edmonton Warriors. Inside and unable to bring it in was Dallin Rye, who slipped into the middle. Another guy who's quite good off ball, Dallin Rye. As I just talked about with Eric George, Dallin Rye, very similar. And now Beret just over top of the net. Peterson. That shot went off the bar. Just, it looked like the outside of the post, so it'll be a Fort Saskatchewan ball on the reset. Beret underneath, Beret out in front, and he runs around Gillespie to the net, but Cavalinas able to clean that up. And now here come the Outlaws in transition, and just bouncing that wide from the wrong side of the floor was, it looked like Ulmer. Double check that for you. I think that was Ulmer. As the ball gets over to Wong through the middle of the floor. Wong. McCallion, and he passed that with too much heat back to George. It'll be over and back, an Outlaw ball. I want to take this time to thank Vimy Lacrosse. Excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. Dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes, Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sport, academics, and growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. As the ball is going to be battled for on the near boards. Now it's knocked back. And now Cavalinas with the clock winding down. Threw it up floor when Greniak with a little jump shot from center. Has that go wide, and it'll be Rebel possession. Italian swings it. No, Wong to the half wall to Wheaton. Cutter, and had Beret. Passed and get there, though, and now Wong gets sort of swarmed inside the 24. Now the ball turns back over into Rebels' possession. Wong, that hit something. An Outlaw stick or glove or something, and it popped back out, and Peterson will pick it up. Wheaton, left side. Wheaton, little flip pass back to Wong, and that gets absorbed by Cavalinas. And now here's a 2-on-1. It's Britton, right to the net. Britton, and I believe he hit crossbar. Now Sherbanek had a guy breaking down the floor. It looked like Nolski, but that was at his feet. And 1 out of maybe, I don't know, that's caught maybe 5 out of 100 times. It's a really tough catch. As Rye swings it. Harris picks set. Harris waits. Now into the middle. Birdney is just wide there. Harris loves to feed off the two-man game. A very shifty player with really good handles. He's almost, I would equate him to like a really good point guard in basketball, with the ability to shoot as well. As that shot's taken and stopped by the Outlaws, or by Cavalinas. As here come the Outlaws back down floor. Osterman. Another guy that grew up playing in the Edmonton Warrior organization. That shot looked like it got to Stewart because they get a reset. One Greniak. Birdney. Backdoor, and Royer tried to quick stick that. Fell out of his stick. And here come the Rebels with a partial 2-on-1. They just get there in time, and now here's Murphy. Good stop there by Cavalinas on the transition opportunity. Now the ball moved up to down right. As we reach the final minute of play in a fast-moving first period, a high-scoring and fast-moving first period. Very few penalties, very few stoppages. The only stoppages pretty much been goals in this period. One Greniak, low shot, stopped by Stewart. Good loose ball by Takahara, who might be the best loose ball guy in the league. If he's not the best, he's one of them. And he's a huge threat offensively in transition. They're going to call back over. And so the Outlaws look like they're going to get final possession. They take Cavalinas out, and they'll go 6-on-5 when Greniak swings it. Rye is going to wait this out a little bit. Now he gets it to Royer. Royer to Harris. Harris, little sidearm shot. Stop. And that's going to do it for the first period with the score. The Beaumont Outlaws 5 and the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 3. I want to thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. All you have to do is hit subscribe, and you'll be notified every time a game goes live. We'll be right back with you in just under 10 minutes' time. Welcome back inside Ken Nickel Recreation Center in Beaumont, where it's the hometown Beaumont Outlaws leading the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels by a score of 5-3. Quick recap: the Rebels scored the first goal of the game before the Outlaws reeled off 5 in a row, and then it was the Rebels answering with a couple before the end of the period to make it 5-3 and narrowing the gap. Eric George with all 3 goals for the Rebels, leading the way. Now the ball over on the right side, bad pass. It's going to be back over. It's going to be Outlaw ball. They don't call it, though, because Britton's got it. Britton in, and that's shut off on the far side by Stewart. And one thing about the goaltending in this game is every single one of these guys, even the backups, are big, tall, large frames. You got to make these guys move if you want to score. Both teams did a good job of that in the first period. And Beret with another chance there. Here come the Outlaws. Harris is going to wait for reinforcements when Graniak comes off the bench. Harris thought about that. Decided to swing it to Rye. Wines, fires. That got stopped. Now it looks like it's going to be back into the stick of the Outlaws as the ball got kind of catapulted up by the Rebels and into the ceiling. Those are the types of things, those little things that add up over the course of a game. And every time you can gain possession makes a difference. As the Outlaws get the ball down low to Rye, he comes up with it and he swings it to Burdney underneath his man. And he fits that in somehow on the short side. It's 6-3. Didn't look like there was much room over there. But Burdney able to jam one in on the short side. The Outlaws back up by 3. Remind you to get your CROW LAX 50/50 tickets. Draws will take place on Canada Day with maximum take-home of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now or visit our social media channels for more information. CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. Royer, left side, Harris hesitated and pulled the trigger but missed the net. Royer now has it on the right side. Royer holds, dances around, and that pass was a little tight for Harris, and the shot clock will expire, and it'll be Rebel ball. Takahara, half wall, stutter step, now inside, goes right to the net, and buries it past Cavalinas. Got his defender to open right up, and then walk down Main Street. It's a big goal and a big answer once again for the Rebels, who won't go away here at 6-4. I said this earlier, but man, Takahara is quick. Great on his feet. He showed it there. And all it took was the Outlaw defender to open up his hips, and Takahara took advantage of that into the middle of the floor. Right side, down low. Now it's back up with Harris. He swings it to Wengreniak. Wengreniak tried to go underneath, steps back. Wengreniak now to a wide open Harris, and he tried to dive around Stewart, and that's a good stop by the netminder. Royer inside, and Harris avoids the crease, and in one motion goes all the way across it. And that's a textbook finish inside as he walked the line, got Stewart to have to move across, and just beat him to the far post at 7-4. Now Takahara to Murphy off the draw. Partial break, and like it might have missed the net. Didn't get the reset, so it must have. As Wong got that to Murphy, who went cross crease to McCallion, and that was shut off. Wong doubled there, able to get it away to Wheaton, now to Peterson. Peterson, and that shot was blocked. As the ball remains in the corner here, now it's going to come out free to Lehman, who runs away from traffic. Another guy who played junior A minors back in the day. Now Royer, and the dip and dunk over top of Stewart, and the Outlaws on another one of those runs here. I think that's the hat trick for Royer. It's 9-4. I think it's 8-4, to be honest with you, but I think it's 8-4. They have 9-4 up on the board here, but I'm almost certain it's 8-4. They'll get that corrected eventually, as they're going to call some type of violation here on the Outlaws on the draw, so Rebels will take possession. McCallion back to Wheaton. He tried to quick stick that and went over top of the net. And now here's Britton. Britton, partial break. Britton has speed, but he gets cut off at the last second by another guy with plenty of speed, Takahara. Takahara will watch him as he goes around the net. Wengreniak, left side. Wengreniak holds it. Dallin Rye is going to pick that up off the floor. And the shot clock is winding down, so he had to send that in on net. The Rebels come back down the floor. City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their downtown parks in River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. As that shot was handled by Cavalinas. And they'll get the reset. Ball swings to Wong. Tried to hit Beret back door. That ball was low. And now with the loose ball, George just swung that and fired it off the post. Now they're going to say back in, and it'll be Rebel ball. Great. Far corner. Flips to George. George pulls the trigger on that, and Cavalinas able to shut off the bottom of the net. 14:20 to go, second period. The Outlaws leading this one. And again, I believe it's 8-4, but for now, the clock reads 9-4. Royer tried to hit a guy back door. Ball is going to be picked back up. Now it's back up to Royer. Royer shoots that into the emblem of Stewart, and now a pass, and here goes Takahara. Takahara straight to the net. Winds and fires. And with his second of the game, it's a narrowed Outlaw lead. Another face-off violation on the Outlaws, and the Rebels will come back down the floor. Here's Darren Beret. Gets it down low. Too long. Darren Beret, of course, the coach of the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels Junior B team. Ball up high. Beret swings at McCallion. Stopped by Cavalinas. Ball goes loose. Britton will go pick that up. He's chased along the wall. He fights his way through that. Now he'll go around the net. And a little behind the back take there. That looked like green. Beret sets the pick. Beret in. And that ball just flew out of his stick. And here come the Outlaws. Wengreniak behind the back feed, and that didn't get there. Now Takahara is going to take off. Wengreniak's going to chase him. Takahara decides to slow down, and now off the bench, Wong, and nice trail check there by Lehman. Lehman, nice dish down to a breaking Dallin Wright, and that's a good stop there by Stewart as the teams trade fast break opportunities. That was a beautiful pass by David Lehman. Perfect amount of air. It's always so beneficial to the guy receiving the pass to be able to turn his head and track the ball and not have to worry about the ball getting up on top of him. And now Wheaton went in and he got stopped by Cavalinas. Outlaws possession once again. Harris comes into the offensive zone, stops up, swings right back to Harris. Harris shot that wide. Ball goes back to center. The shot clock will expire, and the Rebels will regain possession. Harris is going to stay in press here a little bit. Ball now over with Wong out of the near corner. Swings. McCallion, and that looked like it caught both Cavalinas and maybe the bar after. 11:03 to go, second period. As Beret gets thrown down. Looks like that's going to draw a call. Looks like it's either going to be or Britton going to the box. Oh, maybe neither. Looks like Beret's going to the box. I was looking at the scoreboard, and I turned around, and I saw Beret go down. So I assumed the call was coming to an Outlaw, but it will be to the Rebels, and so the Outlaws will go back to the power play here. Wengreniak. Right. Back down to Tokar. He comes up with it. Gets it over to Harris. That low shot's handled. Now Fowler into traffic here. He's going to throw that right into the stick of Royer. So the Outlaws will get a fresh 30. Right. Wengreniak. Seal comes from Rye. It's stopped there by Stewart. Down low. Wengreniak back to Royer. Royer steps. Just missed on the far side. Rebels in dire need of a kill here, as this can't extend out too much further here before they get what would likely be buried here about halfway through the game. Rye tried to go backdoor down to Harris. Got knocked down by a good stick from the Rebels, and now here they go. As they have about 45 seconds left to kill. 9:40 to go in the middle frame. Wheaton off the left side. Wheaton down low. It's going to serve Age. Went backdoor, and that gets picked back up by Takahara. Takahara tried to work his way underneath his defender. It's going to be Outlaw ball. Dallin Wright. Royer. Back over to Birdney. Harris. As they come back to even strength. Beret is hanging out down floor here out of the box. The Rebels maybe could have had a breakaway there, but unable to get the loose ball. And now the Outlaws will have another 30 to work with here. Harris winds, fires. As Stewart drops down and turns that away. Beret up as the Rebels come up floor. Backdoor feed, and Peterson looked like he almost caught that far side. It'll be a reset for the Rebels. Peterson gets it from Beret, back down to Wheaton. Wheaton inside. He misses Wong there. And here's Britton. Britton, long feed to Osterman. Captain for the Outlaws. Gets it up top. Ball swings over to Wengreniak. This game it slowed down a little bit here. Wengreniak. Royer shoots that. And he almost caught Stewart a little deep in his net there, but Stewart able to fight that off. Now a low pass. It's going to have to be run down by the Rebels. And the Rebels, it's like Renault was able to grab that before the Outlaws were able to regain possession. George has McCallion wide open. McCallion and a sprawling Cavalinas able to make that save. He had Cavalinas frozen there a little bit, but Cavalinas able to stay with it and make that save. One of the better saves of the game so far. Next goal in this one, pretty instrumental. Ball back over to Rye. Rye shoots. Stopped by Stewart. Now a little backhand shovel by Harris out in front of the net as the Outlaws get the ball right back. Harris shoots that wide. And then Royer almost able to grab the ball off the end boards. But it's going to go all the way back down the floor. It'll be over and back in Rebel possession. They don't blow the play back in, so the Rebels are going to have to restart out of the corner. The Rebel Noyan just started too early there. The ref's never going to allow that. Got an all-star cast here with Sean Reed, Wes Kendall, and John Bennett doing this one. As the Outlaws come back up. Needham. Down low to Osterman. Osterman back up. Harris. Wengreniak. Wengreniak drag move underneath Wengreniak, and Stewart stayed with that as Wengreniak tried to go to the far side, and now Dallin Rye will go grab that loose ball, and the Outlaws will have another 30. Again, this is something you've seen a lot in this game, is extended possessions and multiple 30s for the Outlaws. It's tough on a defense. And now Harris tried a little twister, and he got taken down in front. No call. And the Outlaws, though, are going to get another 30. Draining this second period away. Harris with another shot. Doesn't have to save it because it hit the goaltender. So the Outlaws can take their time to pick this up. And it'll be a reset. Half wall, Wengreniak. In front. Tried to hit Royer. Ball got knocked down. Now there's a bunch of pushing and shoving. Looks like it was Osterman and Fowler. And they award the ball to the Rebels. 5 minutes to go, second period. 9-5. The Outlaws lead. I still feel like it's 8-5, but as now the Rebels able to grab one. And they narrow the lead down to 3. Like Wheaton on that. It was Greg Beret. Sorry, I was looking away again at the scoreboard. So it looks like it's Beret from Sherbanek, and it's 9-6 game as ball back with George. McCallion. Peterson. Peterson winds, fires in right into the logo of Cavalinas. City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan. Discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their historic downtown parks in River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. Wong. Wheaton off the half wall to Beret. Darren Beret grabs that. Beret to his brother Greg. Greg winds. That riser goes up and over top of the net. Darren Beret mishandles that. Grabs it back. He's going to be chased down the wall. Heavy pressure there. He sends that one in on the net. And Peterson. It's going to hold on to this for the Rebels as they got the reset. Greg Beret, right side. Beret steps into one. Tried to go 5-hole. Cavalinas makes that save. 3:20 to go first period. 9-6 for now as the Outlaws come in with one. Greniak. Royer holds, winds, fires, and now the rebound comes right out to Ryan. He shows nice patience there by faking far and just tucking it back short side high on Stewart as Stewart started to commit. It's 10-6. We're going to wrestle for this at center. Still tied up as they just circle around the dot. Nolsky and Needham. And now here's Green for the Outlaws. Green with a twister. And Stewart says no to that. Callion. Right side. Peterson. He shoots that into the 5-hole. And that's squeezed off by Cavalinas as they wait for that ball to come out of his equipment. $2:15 to go here, second period. Inside, Royer behind the back. Stewart handles that. And now here come the Rebels. Murphy, wrong side of the floor, tried to get it to Wong. That ball bounces around. Outlaws don't pick it up, though, and now Wong is able to go and regather. Oh. A long shot goes in on Cavalinas, and it's 10-7. Vimy Ridge Academy at Vimy Lacrosse Excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. Dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes, Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. But Wong sends that one in, and it finds a way in, and the Outlaws lead back down to 3 in a high-scoring affair here from Ken Nickel Arena. Backdoor look. Tokar with a quick stick. Stewart able to get over in time. A nice athletic save from the big man there. Now a choppy 3-on-2 here by the Rebels. Ball is sent back up to Noyen. He gets tackled. And now looks like they're going to award possession back to the Rebels. So it'll be a minor interference call, and it'll be white ball. Beret. Right side. Back over to Peterson. Peterson inside, and Wong gets sent to the floor. That's going to be a penalty. The Rebels will get a power play here. Beret winds, fires. That hit a body. As Britton is going to chase this ball, but it's going to be a delayed call coming up here to the Outlaws. So the Rebels power play will go to work here with 46 seconds left in the second period, trailing by 3. Here we go. Beret up top. McCallion, Peterson on the shooters. And Wheaton and George on the crease. Now a little seal off the right side, but ball back up top. Shot taken by George. And the Outlaws look to outlet. Cavalinas. Lehman. Rye in. And he scores much the same way he got his last one. Fake far. And just almost in one motion, tucking it back to the short side high. Corner. It's 11-7. And I believe that's a hat trick for him as well. Bunch of guys with a number of goals. A lot of guys having big nights here. As the ball goes into the corner. Ball is going to be picked up, but the Rebels aren't going to have much time here. There's 2 seconds left in the period. They'll just hang on to this, and the period's going to expire. And on that last goal as well, like David Lehman, seen that a few times here. These really nice long lead passes in transition. He set up a couple opportunities. The Outlaws able to get one there shorthanded. So after 2 periods of play, the score will be the Beaumont Outlaws 11, the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 7. I want to thank you for joining, I want to thank you for checking in tonight here to watch the game on CROW LAX TV. All you got to do is hit subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. We'll be back with you here in just under 10 minutes time. All right, welcome back into the Ken Nickel Recreation Center, where it is the Beaumont Outlaws leading the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels by a score of 11-7. Both teams entering the game at 1-5-1, tied for the final playoff spot. There are 5 teams in the Alberta Series Lacrosse Senior B League, and 4 teams make the playoffs on their way to trying to get to the President's Cup being held this year in Ladner, BC. As the ball is grabbed by the Rebels off the draw. And they come out on offense. Oh, 45 seconds remaining on the power. Peterson kind of double clutched that, then lost it. And long lead pass, the ball bounces into the stick and then just kind of fell out at the last second on Dallin Ryan. The Rebels will come back down with 30 seconds now remaining on the power play. Ball with McCallion. He gets it over to Peterson. Now down low to Wheaton. Wheaton up top to Greg Beret. Beret got it over to the left shooter. Peterson. Now Wheaton inside McCallion. A little bit of a head fake. And a shot. Cavalinas able to say no to that one. And now Royer will come off the bench. Royer. Ball down with Wingreniak. Wingreniak trying to take a step around his man. Now he gets it back up over to Harris. Quick stick by Royer. Stopped by Stewart. And Hiko collects that. Hiko and collects that as Wingreniak swings it back over, or gets it back over from the right side, and he shoots that wide. And now Harris with the loose ball behind the net. Harris. Running shot. Stewart dropped down and made that save. Now Tokar grabs the loose ball. Another extended possession here with multiple 30s for the Outlaws. Royer winds and fires and misses the net. That'll bounce back down the floor. And it'll be back over. As Wheaton gets it over to the left side. Wheaton gets it back. Sent it up high. Now George is going to be chased by Brett Orr. Another former junior A minor. The defender forced a panic shot there, and now the Outlaws tried to hit Wingreniak breaking off the bench. He's going to go and collect that off the glass and set up the Outlaw offense. Wingreniak off the left side. Wingreniak across the top. Wingreniak running shot. Stopped by Stewart. And now another turnover, and Royer grabs that loose ball and he sends it up floor to Wingreniak, who's going to slow it down. Ball over to Dallin Rye. Rye swings. Harris. Twister. Stopped by Stewart. Murphy boxes out on that loose ball. Sends a bit of a wild pass over to the far side of the floor. And now the Rebels are going to have to try and get their offense onto the floor here. They eventually do with about 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Greg Beret is going to control it up high. Beret rushes in and tried to throw a twister of his own at the net. Now something took place here behind the plate. I think it was a non-contact twisting of the ankle for Green. as they help him off the floor. They hope that Jaden's all right. And here come the Outlaws. Dallin Rye skips across the top. Birdney back over to Rye. Rye quick shot, misses. Goes in behind and off the back of the net. Say the Outlaws tried to reach into the crease. And so it'll be Rebel ball. Swim move there by Reynaud. Former crude captain. And now the Rebels will come down with about 15 and a half to go here, third period. Outlaws holding a 4-goal lead. Beret. Now, I think what happened with the score earlier is that they didn't put up a goal initially, and then it went from 7 to 9. That must be what happened, because it really threw me off, but they haven't changed it, so it must be correct. And they must have just missed putting one up for a while, because it skipped from 7 to 9 at one point. As when Greniak is going to come off the near side, he gets thrown down. And Stewart outlets. There's Darren Beret. Beret gets it to Wheaton. Wheaton gets it to Greg Beret, right side. Wheaton swings. Wong with an outside rip. Far side low. It's 11-8. So with 14:26 to go, the Rebels once again narrow the Outlaw lead. And now Britton, long lead pass. Rye once again on a breakaway, this time unable to tuck it home short side, and it'll be Rebel ball as he ran through the crease to pick the ball up. Dallin has had a number of transition looks and a number of breakaways in this game. He's got 2 already on breakaways. He's had a couple other chances as well on breaks as Peterson ties up with Britton. Peterson goes down. Now here come the Outlaws. It's like the older Gillespie and Nathaniel that came over in a trade from the minors. With that transition run. Now when Greniak right across the top again. Stewart able to shut that off, and that pass is way over the head of Darren Beret. Now Beret bumps Cavalinas a little bit, and the Outlaws come back down floor. And Harris with a jump across the crease. That either hits Stewart. That either hits Stewart or the post, and now a rainbow pass to Osterman sent him in, and Stewart with another save. That's a big save as the Rebels still only sit 3 down here with still 11 and a half to go. Now Beret got tangled up with an Outlaw defender. Looked like Orr. As he engages with him. And some extracurriculars going on here by the benches. Excuse me, 12 and a half still to go, not 11 and a half. So plenty of the time for the Rebels to still make their way back into this one. Tokar. Joe Royer. Dallin Rye. Greniak over on the left shooter. And that shot got knocked down by a stick. Ball's going to bounce back down the floor. Because it went off, it's not back over because it went off a Rebel player. But the shot clock wound down anyway, so it'll be Rebel ball. Twelve minutes to go here, third period. Outlaws leading the Rebels 11-8 in a huge game for each team's playoff prospects with the regular season winding down. And now a delayed call coming up to the Outlaws. And Beret getting chased around here a little bit. Now out in front, McCallion with a rebound opportunity, unable to tuck it. Outlaws have been really harassing Greg Beret here, chasing him around the rink. But the Rebels are about to go on the power play here with a chance to narrow this Outlaw lead even more with 11:36 to go. So Beret starts off the power play up top. Peterson, Wheaton, George, McCallion is the power play look here as they all touch the ball. Now, inside cut off the shooter by Peterson. He sends that wide. Now, Beret gets chased out by Britton, but he's able to move the ball in time. It's a bad pass by Peterson. Beret whips it off the foot of referee Wes Kendall as the shot clock wound down, and that one stung. As the Outlaws, with about a minute 20 to go here to kill off, nursing that 3-goal lead. Cut in front. Royer didn't bring it in. And the ball bounces down the floor, and Murphy's going to collect. They got about a minute left to go in the power play. A big opportunity here to get within 2. They haven't been within 2, really, I don't think, since the end of the first after they narrowed it to 5-3. Beret. I was just going to say, you probably don't want to have Beret or George shooting the ball. And George quickly making good on that statement as he rifled that high on Cavalinas. It's 11-9. And the Rebels just refuse to go away. Now off the draw, it's knocked back by the Outlaws, and they're going to take possession. Royer gets it over to the half wall, Dallin Rye. Rye swings. When Greniak drags under his man, a little bit of a slide comes, and he's able to get the shot off. Stewart able to turn it away, and here come the Rebels and Reynaud. It's going to get checked by a couple of Outlaws as he comes over center. Reynaud now pinned against the wall. He's able to somehow squirm his way through. Some pretty unreal strength by the diminutive Jack Reynaud, who doesn't lack in the toughness department. Wong got a step on his defender, tried to twist that short side and went well wide. Another guy that has a nice first step. Wong for the Rebels. As Royer comes into the offensive zone with 9 minutes to go. His team leading by 2. Joe up across the top. He gets it over to Harris. Harris steps, turns back, fires off his back foot, and then a rebound came out. And I don't know what that hit or if Royer was able to bring that in, but the Outlaws do get the reset. Birdney out of the near corner. Over to Royer. Pick set there by Osterman. He's over there trying to create some room for Royer. Royer off of a body, up and over the glass, and it'll be outlaw ball. I don't know. They're signaling for something. Oh, they're signaling for water. I think they're giving the goaltenders a break here. So with 18-19 to go, and the Outlaws leading 11-9. I want to take this time to remind you that the CROW LAX 50-50 tickets are about to go off. Draws will take place on Canada Day with your maximum take-home of up to $10,000. Scan the QR code on your screen now or visit our social media channels for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. And Vimy Ridge Academy. At Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors, dedicated to molding well-rounded athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sports, academic, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting edmonton.ca/lacrosse. And with that, the Outlaws just extend their lead back out to 3. Now off the face-off, Gillespie brings that in for the Outlaws. Looking for someone to hand off to. He gets it to Britt. Joe Royer with another one here. As Dallin Rye and Callan Harris have pummeled the score sheet here with help from Lengreniak as well. As Harris misses the net, but Britton out in front just as the shot clock expired. It went off right before he released the shot. Wouldn't have counted. It'll be Rebel ball. Peterson. Beret. As he evaded heavy traffic there. Wheaton. Gonna get a pick set there from Wong. Wong rolls wide open, and that goes off of Cavalinas. Wheaton with the loose ball. He goes down in the corner. Looks like he caught his leg on the boards. Now an Outlaw remains down. They blow it dead as McCallion was shooting the ball. And the Rebels want to know why that was blown dead, as I think they felt they should have allowed to get an opportunity before it was blown dead. So they're going to discuss this. Looks like Brett Orr, who went down. So it will be Rebel ball here with 6:56 to go in the third period. Ray. McCallion, right side. McCallion hopping around. Thought about shooting. Sends it over to Peterson. Peterson, Wong, back to Peterson. Into traffic. Peterson, back up to Wong. That shot goes into the midsection of Cavalinas. He handles that. Here come the Outlaws. Up the floor. If you break this game down into chunks here to finish off, the Rebels probably want to narrow this back down to 2 before the 5-minute mark to have a realistic opportunity to come back here. Now that goes off the floor, up and out of play, and it'll be Rebel ball. Darren Beret. Up to Peterson. The Rebels, a little slow to come on the floor here late in the game. They need urgency here. McCallion, and that was a good save there. Might have even caught some posts. And now Britton in on a breakaway. Here's Britton right in, and that gets stopped, looked like by the glove of Stewart. And Reynaud, good positioning on that loose ball. 5:40 to go. Rebels down 3 here from the Ken Nickel Recreation Center. Thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. Junior B Tier 1, some senior lacrosse, and the Saints women's lacrosse team. As out in front, and Greg Beret had an opportunity to quick stick that. It was a bit of a high pass, though. And Gillespie is going to jog out over center with 5 minutes to go here. Outlaws in no rush here. Ball up top when Greniak reaches up for that. Harris looks, winds, fires, and an absolute bullet. Top shelf, far side. It's 13-9. That, my friends, is most likely going to do it for this one. You see that with some of the very best shooters is they're able to just slightly change the angle of the head of their stick as they're releasing the ball. And I think he got Stewart to commit a little bit to that short side as he kind of pulled it towards his face. And then as he was stepping towards the net, he was able to sail the ball back to the far side. Just that little slight change of angle of the head of his stick. And he's able to get Stewart to bite. And that's a big goal for the Outlaws. As Takahara picks up the loose ball. Takahara into the corner. And McCallion underneath McCallion, and that's stopped. Looks like Lysenko has come in now for the Outlaws. As Harris controls this. Royer. They're going to call a high stick there, I believe, on the Rebels. So the Outlaws will go to the power play with 4:09 to go here, leading by 4. So up top, Dallin Rye is going to slow play this, as the Outlaws really have no incentive to push the pace here. Seal set there by Greniak. Harris tried to step around and shoot. Got knocked down. Looked like they got a reset. Greniak. Rye. Royer. Back up to Rye. Rye behind the back to Royer. And Royer deposits that up high. It's 14-9. And so with 3:18 to go. The Outlaws now extend their lead to 5, and the ball's going to go into the far boards where Britain is going to pick it up. Get it to Osterman, or to Gillespie. Royer gets run out there by Beret, and oh, the clock didn't start. So the game clock didn't start. It was at 3:18. It's still at 3:18. So they're going to go probably down to about 3 minutes. So they'll take about 18 seconds off or whatever, 20 seconds off. It'll be just underneath 2 minutes, I believe, when they'll restart play. So they started right at 3 minutes here. Royer swings. Ball back over to Joe. Joe shoots. Stop. Here come the Rebels. And into the stick of Matt Murphy. I thought the Rebels might take Stewart out and go 6-on-5, but I think they've decided that it's probably a little bit too out of reach. As Beret with a shot. Wheaton. Gets it up to Beret. And they're going to call moving pick. And now there's going to be another call here. It's going to be Peterson to the box for a cross check. So the Outlaws will work the clock here with 2 minutes to go. There's some chirping in the penalty box right now. Probably more interesting though what's going on the floor right now with the Outlaws just draining time, and that was a nice backdoor look to Harris. And now a late shot. They're going to wave it off. Tokar shot it from the far boards as Fowler comes in over center. It was pretty funny what I heard out of the box, but I won't repeat it. As Takahara evading a couple checks here. Eventually the shot clock's going to wind down, though. And it'll be Outlaws ball. As we run down inside the final minute of the game, Outlaws 14, Rebels 9. I wouldn't even anticipate the Outlaws taking a shot here. Maybe because it's a power play they might, but honestly, I'd probably just tell the guys to roll the ball in the corner. But we'll see. Well, they do take a shot when Graniak fires it. And the Rebels will pick this ball up and play this thing out. 28 seconds to go. Wheaton, Beret, ball gets knocked down, and Lysenko will just pick this up as this clock is going to wind down here. And after 60 minutes of play here and a final from the Ken Nickel Arena in Beaumont, the Beaumont Outlaws defeat the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels by a score of 14-9. We want to thank you for joining us here on the channel. We got plenty of action this upcoming weekend. Be sure to check out Friday night's heavyweight tilt, which will go a long way in deciding who comes out on top of the North in Junior B when the Edmonton Warriors go into Moyer to take on the Fort Saskatchewan Junior B Rebels. But for now, we'll say goodnight once again from the Ken Nickel Arena. The Beaumont Outlaws 14, the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 9. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.